Okay, so this video is for page 23 in the iReady math packet. It gives you some division problems, and the directions say estimate, circle all the problems with quotients between 500 and 1,500. Then find the exact quotient of only the problems you circled. So I'm not going to do the problems that are on the packet. I'm going to make up some similar so you see what they want you to do. So let's say I have I'm thinking of a problem 3,195, and I'm gonna divide that by 8. Well, I'm gonna think of the multiples of 8 because I want to make this an easy number to divide by. I know it says estimate, so you might think you're just rounding this, but you're gonna want to first think about numbers that can easily be divided by the number you're dividing by. So if I have 8, if I do all my multiples, I'm going to list them down here. So I have 8, 16, 24, 32, and so on. Well, I see the number 32 looks a lot like this number 31 and 3,195. So I'm going to estimate, I'm going to change this, I'm going to round it to, I want to keep that 32 and then make the rest of these numbers 0, so 3,200. So then I could do easily, well, what's 32 divided by 8? Because remember, when we have numbers that end in zeros, we pretend they're not there and then just put them back at the end. So I'm just pretending those two zeros aren't there, and I'm looking at 32. Well, what's 32 divided by 8? If you know your facts, 32 divided by 8 is 4. Then those two zeros that I pretended weren't there, I would just put back. So my answer would be 400. Now the directions say that I only have to find the exact quotients or the exact answers by dividing if the estimate is between 500 and 1,500. So this one's not, so I wouldn't have to do anything after I estimate for this one. Now, let's go over an example in case it is between those two estimates. So let's say I'm doing, let me think of something. 1,923, and I'm dividing that by 3. So I'm gonna think of, so I want to look at like either the first number or the first two numbers. It depends on the number I'm dividing by. So I'm gonna think of my multiples of 3. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Now, if I'm looking at the first two numbers, I see 19. The closest number I have that is a multiple of 3 is this 18. So I'm going to change this and estimate it so that that turns into 18 and the rest of my numbers are 0, so 1,800. Because then I can pretend those zeros aren't there, and I just have 18 divided by 3, which I know, if I know my facts, is 6. And then I just put those two zeros back. So the estimated answer would be 600. So I know that this answer is around 600. So since this is between that 500 and 1,500 estimate that they want us to find the exact quotient, now I have to find the exact answer to see if my estimate was accurate. So I'm going to take, what was it? I forgot, I erased it. I think it was 1,927 divided by 3. So I know 3 can't go into 1, so I can put a 0. Now I'm going to go 3 goes into 19. How many times? 6. 6 times 3 is 18. Then I subtract 19 minus 18 is 1. Bring down the next number, and I start all over. So 3 goes into 12 4 times, because 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract, that's 0. Even though I have a 0, I still have to keep going until all my numbers are brought down. So I got to bring down the 7. And now I'm going to do 3 goes into 7 how many times? Well, you're thinking to yourself, 3 times what is closest to 7? Well, 3 times 2 is closest to 7 because 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1, so I have a remainder of 1. So my answer, my exact answer would be 642, remainder 1. And on the worksheet, I think it won't let you put in remainders. So you would need to write your answer like, here, I'll write over here, 642.1. Hopefully that answers your guys' questions for page 23.